All right, so I'm assuming people will be kind of coming in, and I'll let them in as they arrive. I'm rocking my Porta Sofia t-shirt today. We should have those for folks soon, but yeah, so welcome everyone to Porta Sofia's Archival Researcher Network kickoff event. I think most of you already know me, but for those watching on the recording later, my name is Amanda Pratt, and I'm working on the Porta Sofia data team, and specifically working on the archival research end of the data team and facilitating this Archival Researcher Network. So yeah, Porta Sofia, as many of you know, means doorway to wisdom. We're a psychedelic prior art library. And one second, I'm just gonna make CC a co-host so that you can let people in. Yeah, so we're a psychedelic prior art library, and we formed in response to this kind of unique and pressing problem that our founders were noticing, that too many patents were being filed in the psychedelic space that shouldn't have been. And of course, patents are supposed to be reserved for novel and non-obvious innovations. And the way that these characteristics are measured is through an assessment of the, quote, state of the art, right? So patent examiners undergo a prior art search to determine if there's evidence of the claims to innovation pre-existing a given patent application. And so the problem we're seeing is in part a problem of the obscurity of prior art in the psychedelic space, because research, of course, took place in that first wave of psychedelic research in the 50s, 60s, 70s, even before, and because a large amount of the research has taken place underground since then. And at Porta Sofia, we're champions of that obscure prior art, right? So we find prior art that is relevant to the patent landscape, and we build our library with it. And so as a prior art library, we do intervene at that prior art search stage of the patent prosecution process. And by making the psychedelic prior art readily accessible with our search tool, we do, our goals and our kind of mission is to protect the public domain, stimulate innovation, and support good patents. We can certainly talk about this stuff in some of the Ask Me Anything sessions, but just to give you a sense, if you're not already aware of how we kind of create the targets for finding prior art, we do keep track of all of the different patents that are being published on a range of compounds every week, and we use those patents that are patent applications to generate targets for finding prior art. So everything that we're kind of populating within our library is in direct response to real live applications and patents that are out there, right? And of course, the first level when we go to find that prior art is looking at databases and kind of search engines and that kind of thing. The ARN, Archival Researcher Network, is an incredibly important crowdsourcing effort tasked with surfacing the prior art that is least accessible to patent examiners and also to us, really. So the prior art that's collected in archival repositories around the world. And indeed, because this psychedelic research has taken place globally, it's absolutely pivotal for patent examiners and whoever is trying to innovate in the space to be aware of the prior art that's associated with all of those global efforts. And so yesterday, Stephanie Schmitz gave a workshop on archival research fundamentals. It was called Archival Research Fundamentals, Searching for Prior Art in the Psychoactive Substances Research Collection. And so a good group of us were there to be able to dive into some prior art in the Betsy Gordon collection at Purdue, which was wonderful. And I think it'd be great to have more opportunities like that going forward. So really the ARN is also an amazing kind of practical public humanities initiative that leverages historical knowledge to help shape the future of psychedelic science in a significant way, right? So with that workshop and our future plans, we do want to kind of continue this mission of professionalizing interested students and also community members more broadly into this world of archival research for this crowdsourcing effort. And as those of you that are already kind of in this world know, this can be very humbling, right? Archival research kind of sometimes feels like searching for a needle in a haystack, as Stephanie said yesterday, but also it can be really fun, and it can be a really she also framed the opportunity to sit there in an archive and look through stuff as a gift, right? The gift of being able to like kind of sit with these documents and see what's there. And so I'm almost done with my kind of opening remarks, and then I'll kind of share my screen and kind of walk through the program. But I just want to say that we do have 28 researchers in the Archival Researcher Network from all over the US and also globally. So we do have a few folks from or a couple folks from the UK and someone from Germany. Philip's here today, so that's pretty awesome. And yeah, I'm really excited to kind of build out that. Oh, is that a baby? Junior era. But yeah, really excited to kind of continue to build that global network, because again, this stuff is really taking place all over the place, and that's the value of a network, right? So one person can't physically possibly go all over the world and be aware of every archive and what's in there, right? But by kind of connecting to people spatially all over the place, we can maybe start to close some of those gaps. So so yeah, my hope for the next couple of days will be that this will be a chance for this kind of burgeoning network to start to connect to one another with the Porta Sofia team more broadly, you know, to really, and we've built in a lot of different like kind of low stakes environments to ask questions, workshop ideas for scholarship, and kind of just plan some paths forward. And so I'll share my screen. Give me a sec. Hang on one sec. There we go. Okay, so this is the Porta Sofia Archival Researcher Network landing page, as many of you probably have seen before, but I just wanted to kind of show off kind of how this is working now currently. So we've got the workshop that we did yesterday. If you haven't already registered, the keynote and the roundtable the register links are right there. I'm just going to go down here. We have the whole schedule for the keynote or for the kickoff event kind of listed out underneath that. We also have our call for applications for grants. So please, if you're interested in applying for a research grant, you can reach out to me, or you can talk to us in one of the Ask Me Anything sessions today. Here's the general call for participation for the Archival Researcher Network. We're now reviewing those RSVPs on a rolling basis. And then for those of you that weren't able to attend or haven't already seen these recordings, we did run a series of information sessions in February a few months ago. So there's one on patent law and prior art, introduction to Porta Sofia with the data team, one on psychedelic science, and one on psychedelic archival research. And these were really meant to kind of just get people thinking about what we're up to, because there is a little bit of a steep learning curve to kind of get into the world of what it would mean to surface archival prior art. And so I'm going to come back up here and click on View Event Program. And I'll just kind of walk through some of the logistics. And then hopefully we'll have a chance to like say hello to one another for the last few minutes here. So there's a table of contents in the program here to kind of, and these are all clickable links, so you can jump right to the place in the program you're looking at. This is a lot of the information from the call for proposals, but you have your links to the information sessions here, so that's accessible for you, as well as the RSVP for the Archival Researcher Network in general, and then the grants, a little bit about what Porta Sofia does and the kickoff event. So we do have live captioning on everything for Zoom on Zoom for this kickoff event, including right now. Everything is obviously free, virtual, open to the public. The kind of tricky part is that there's the three kind of main events. The workshop's already passed, but from here on out, we've got the keynote and the roundtable. Those are two events that you will have to register for if you haven't already, and those links are embedded here and throughout the program. Everything else is in this main Zoom room, so it's good that you're here. You found that out. Basic Zoom etiquette, though, it's pretty informal, so I think it's okay if you want to intervene at some point, probably not during the keynote or the roundtable, but yep, there's our contact information of the kickoff event organizers, so please reach out. I've got my cell phone number in there if you have anything that you want to connect about urgently. There's our Twitter handle. It's pretty new, so we're still kind of building a presence on Twitter. It's some hashtags if you want to tweet about the kickoff event. And there's a link to our YouTube channel where we're going to upload all of our recordings, and the recordings for the information sessions are there as well. And there's our little home on the Porta Sofia website. So yeah, obviously yesterday was the workshop. Today we've got this opening session, and then we'll kind of move right into our first Ask Me Anything drop-in hour with Tom Eisenberger, who is one of our resident patent lawyers at Porta Sofia. And that session will be focused specifically on patent law, but if you have more general questions, it's totally okay to drop into any of those Ask Me Anythings. Again, even if it's just to say hello briefly. And then the big exciting thing of today is our keynote presentation from Preeti Krishtel will be at 12:30. And then 2:30 today will be the Ask Me Anything about archival research. And so this one I think will be especially important for the ARN to kind of workshop ideas. If you're stuck, or if you kind of want to be helpful here, but you're not really sure where to begin, or if you're kind of not sure about the research that you're doing, whether it relates to archival prior art, or likewise, if you have some archival prior art and you're thinking about how to make it into a research article, I think those are all things that we would be really happy to talk about this afternoon. And then tomorrow we've got a little spotlight presentation from David Casimir, who's our other resident patent lawyer and one of the founders of Porta Sofia, and he's going to do a little talk about archival prior art as it relates to mescaline. And then we're going to have a roundtable, which will be our big main event of tomorrow on Indigenous knowledge and patent law, and that'll be featuring Sutton King, Ting Tinker, Preeti Krishtel, and David Casimir, and Graham Petchnick will be the moderator. One last drop-in session about third-party pre-issuance submissions with the data team tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 Central. The third-party submissions are kind of getting a lot of buzz, and so we can talk about that. That's the mode by which we directly intervene with the patent office and basically say, okay, here's a list of claims in this patent, and here's all the different reasons why each of these claims doesn't add up and is not actually innovative. And so we've had some early successes with that, and I think we'd be really happy to share and talk about that. And then we'll have a closing session tomorrow afternoon where we're going to kind of lay out some paths forward, again, some ongoing opportunities. And we're also going to kind of distribute the next round of targets for prior art search. And if you kind of scroll down, you can see the different descriptions of the talks, the talk this afternoon, and as well as the roundtable for tomorrow. And then we've got our bios for our various speakers and their beautiful headshots. And our acknowledgements. I did want to just take a moment to list out our contributors. So we do want to extend sincere appreciation to lots and lots of people for their help with the Archival Researcher Network and Porta Sofia more broadly. And so we couldn't do this without the Usona Institute, Dr. Bronner's, Casimir Jones, the University of Wisconsin-Madison School of Pharmacy, the American Institute for the History of Pharmacy, the Betsy Gordon Psychoactive Substances Research Collection, DMT Nexus, Blue Light, and the Fournier Family Foundation. And then just a shout out to our team. So we've got sort of communications and media folks, we've got kind of project managers, fundraisers, web design team, legal team, and then of course our data team. And then this is our list of our 28 Archival Researcher Network participants. So this is kind of the beginning, the first kind of public disclosure of this list. And I think in the future, I think there'll be some great opportunities to do some profiling of the various researchers in this network and kind of actively more connect with one another. Thanks to Luke Rickard, who's our academic advisor, and of course our speakers. And so I'll stop sharing now. Let's see. Okay, there we go. All right, and I'm going to actually stop the recording too, and then we can kind of just chat.